Everyone, and welcome to the AMA for Sunday, November 7th. We're back and doing these on a weekly basis. You asked for it, we deliver. And uh, with me, I'm happy to have the one and only Mara Rivera. Mara, how are you doing?
Hey y'all, I'm great. Listening to the train in the backyard. You know how it is.
That's awesome. Well, folks, we obviously have been taking these off because we would launch the platform, and when we launched the platform, then we were planning on doing AMAs on VOYR. But in the interim of not having the live video yet up and running, we wanted to bring these back to live format, and I wanted to give some updates. There's been a lot of questions, comments, criticism, concerns, all the above on Discord and some of our social channels. So, again, our belief is full transparency, so I want to address those, and then I'm happy to take any questions. Again, as always, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching us on Twitch, if you're on Discord and you want to jump in, ask a question, go to the AMA channel. The AMA channel on Discord will push that question into us. We'll see those and we'll address them. So I know we have 5 or 6 viewers now online. So thanks for tuning in. So I want to give an update. Start with just kind of general state where things are at, right? So we've been launched now for just a little over a month. It has been an interesting month. I will be the first to say that. We are still working through a few launch bugs, and we have had tons of feedback from the community on things that they'd like to see fixed, improvements, things that are working, that aren't working. And so we are working through that with the development team. That said, we are also still moving forward with net new functionality expansion as well. So we are pushing for live video. Live video is still scheduled to be delivered here in the next 2 weeks. And then we are going to make a platform update change I'll talk about here in a second. In terms of the platform itself, there are 2 platforms. There is VOYR, which is the social exchange, and then there's Memories. Now, Memories is something that we've been talking about. It's kind of in early access. It is functionally complete. I will say that we are working on an update to Memories. And so we still haven't called it general availability, but there are plenty of people who are using Memories on a daily basis. Things are being minted and things are being transacted and sold. So Memories is, I'm going to call it functionally complete, and kind of general available. If you want to think about it from a early access feature set, right? There are a few things that we want to do still on Memories before we call it production ready. So, or not production ready, general availability. And that said, from a platform perspective, there's 3 big updates, right? The first, obviously, is the platform itself, right? There was need to complete out the development contract that we had to close out, and we had to make some hard decisions here at VOYR, right? We obviously have been building this platform for 9 months. Majority of all that time and costs and expenses were borne by either pre-sale raises or personal capital funds from myself and our co-investors. But we're at the point where VOYR has to live and care and feed for itself, and we were at a decision point where we had to make a decision to tap the operational wallet to pay a closeout contract fee. We did do that. Obviously, that created a lot of questions, concerns, comments from the community. I want to be very, very transparent. I know there's been a lot of speculation about people having inside knowledge that it was coming and things along those lines. No one knew in advance of our plans. We did that by design, right? We're obviously very interested in transparency, but we made the decision that we were going to have to tap this. We did that first, and then I reported the news to the community. Anybody who got in front of that news just happens to be doing their own research, and probably watches our pattern that we tap operational funds at the end of the month for expenses. And so, I just want to make it very, very clear that there was no one who had any insider knowledge of those plans to have to hit the operation, pay that contract. And again, if anybody did get in front of it, that is them doing, proper good research. And I can't fault that, right? So at the same time, there's some people who are mad saying, "Hey, look, you should have told me you were going to do this." And the fairness to everybody, I can't tell anybody, because then, I'm creating an insider trading situation. All right. So that said, that's what happened there. We do have the contract paid. It is fully set to close out the initial phase of the development. We also, at the same time, paid for the full setup of the live video functionality. So live video will be coming in with that payment. Going forward, we are in a maintenance mode. Net new functionality, net new features will have to happen through a maintenance contract piece, or we'll have to do it as expansion contract work. We are working on bringing in some people internally to take on day-to-day support operations of the platform, so that we're not beholden to our wonderful development partners forever. But we are still going to rely on them for probably the next 6 or 7 months or so. Operational wise, we have capacitable funds paid into the maintenance contract, and support wise, that we have about 3 to 4 months of runway on VOYR. That said, VOYR has to pay for itself, and VOYR has to do that through revenue on the transactions of the platform. So we've made a couple of decisions as an executive team with input from the community on the path forward. And I did publish at docs.voyr.me a written article that kind of explains this, but I'm going to walk people through it. All right. First off, we're going to expand the currency that is used on the platform from beyond just VOYR.me to any EVM-based token. All right. Now, we are going to start with a limited subset of EVM-based tokens. We're going to start with expansion of allowing Ethereum, BUSD, USDC, and BNB to be used on VOYR. Now, the reason we can do this is our economics model is built on a tax plus model. Think of it as sales tax or VAT, depending on where you are in the world. And we have the ability to swap our token for that token. And now that doesn't mean that VOYR.me is going away, right? VOYR.me will still be the preferred token on the platform. It'll have most favorite nation status. It'll have the cheapest transaction cost. So if a creator is taking payment in VOYR.me, there's still only a 6% tax. Everything that happens in the tokenomics model still happens, and it'll pass on through. Now, if a creator or a fan decides to use or accept payment in, let's just say BNB, the BNB transaction will happen. It'll still go through the same transactional engine. It will just have a different tax. It'll have a tax of 10%. Now, granted, there's an additional 4% tax in there. So people ask me, where's that extra 4% going to go? The extra 4% is going to get reflected back into the LP of the VOYR.me token, right? So everybody who still holds VOYR.me is going to get, LP growth on every transaction. Actually, will make more reflection on a non-VOYR token than you will with a VOYR token, just the way it's being built. This does require a new smart contract, does require some UI updates. So we are going to be turning this on over a couple of weeks. We have the engineering development team already working on this. It does give us a couple of benefits, I think. The first is it makes it very transactional friendly to people who are new to crypto, who may not know how to go get a coin, flip it to another coin, and then try to swap to VOYR.me, right? Not saying that we're still not going to have that capability, that functionality in there, but we're going to make it very frictionless for people who are coming on who may just be setting up a wallet and want to go out and get mainstream token and be able to use it. Secondly, by expanding it this way, we are going to have a substantial amount of revenue growth. The transactional tax is obviously higher, so higher tax means more revenue. More revenue means faster growth. Faster growth means there's more operational funds to tap. Lastly, we have to drive transactions on the platform. That's how we fund the platform. That's how the platform grows. So we are refocusing our efforts on a subset of creators that we believe will generate the highest transactional revenue per creator, and that is the adult entertainment side. So we are refocusing our efforts. We're not kicking anybody off the platform, but we are going to specifically go focus and target on adult creators who have a fan base, or people who are having a substantial amount of transactions that are being done in lives and premium messaging and subscription models, just to get the user base up with the targeted focus of revenue generation. Right. VOYR was always built with the economics model that we would have, at steady state to fund the operations. We need 10,000 active users, and that's considering, the average ratio of 1 to 5. You have 50,000 registered users, 10,000 are active at any one time. And so, we have to get to that model, or we have to increase the amount of tax that we take out to have a smaller amount of numbers to pay for the break-even point. So that's what we're doing. Last thing I will say is we are tracking everything that we have tapped from operational wallet wires that has impacted LP. We do have a reparation plan in place. Part of that is from this tax model. The other part of it is from our sister businesses, right? VOYR does own VOYR Media Group. The parent company of VOYR has different business lines. Now, every business line should be funding its own self, and it's not fair for me to tap all the other business lines to pay for VOYR, but we are going to take some of the pass-through profit and put it back into VOYR. So that is there. And our goal at scale, starting in 60 days, is to repatriate $10,000 of LP per month. So a lot of updates there. I don't see any questions coming in yet, but there's questions. Feel free to fire them in. I'll check Twitter and Discord here to see if there's any questions. But Mara, anything you want to add there? And thanks for tuning in and joining me today.
I think that it took. I just want to add that it took a lot of effort to plan this and be able to pivot correctly. And I for one, I'm very I'm proud to be a part of this team, but I'm also very enthusiastic on what's to come. One of the downfalls of being transparent is you kind of put yourself out there because you don't hide anything. So I know that a lot of our team members have been dragged, and they're asking like, "Where are you?" and "What's going on?" And I just want to keep reminding folks, Rome wasn't built in a day, and still with the way we're having to pivot, we are still the only people doing this right now. And my call to action is we want more users. It's easy. You just connect your wallet, open your profile, interact with others. Irrespective of what direction we end up going in, it's about getting users onto the platform and enjoying it, because we're doing it. We're doing it with all the trouble, with all the pivots that we've been having. We still have a solid platform. Does it have bugs? Absolutely. Are we fixing things? Sure. But we can still engage. And that alone is a step into the future. So I'm still super excited.
Well said. Well said. I just checked. There's just one comment, but no questions. And I do appreciate people tuning in. Again, this is something the community asked for, so we want to bring these back because we do try to listen to the community. So I'll give you some positive news, I guess, looking forward. So this week coming up, we will be in Miami at the Miami. It is a conference that's being put on for the second time this year. We are looking at it from a pretty much a springboard event for us. We will be there with not only ourselves representing VOYR, we'll be having Tiago there as well for the 10 million NFT art project. And then we have one of our other sister brands, our management agency, being represented. The Conference itself is November 10th, 11th, and 12th. If anybody would like to attend and you're in Miami or in the local area, you can get to Miami. I can tell you right now, if you register using VOYR 20, VOYR 20, you'll get 20% off. And if you want to just join the virtual online for the metaverse, you can use the same code to get 20% off the metaverse ticket. The event is going to be live stream, so we'll be streaming from the booth. We'll be also having some video updates and segments coming out from there. So we'll be doing a lot of marketing there. The show is promoting us pretty heavily themselves. We have one of our ambassadors, DJ Mary Matt, coming down. She's going to play actually the NFT art gala, and we are really excited about it. We're going to push out tons of social media updates off of it, but it's kind of I don't want to say the rebirth, but it's the journey into the second phase for VOYR. So we are kicking it off using this. It is a substantial investment from a marketing perspective, but the profile is there. It's the right community. The whole city of Miami is invited on Wednesday. It's going to be a very large event. Very high profile event from a crypto perspective, and Miami is really kind of becoming the crypto capital of the world. So, it makes perfect sense for us, being a Florida-based company, to be there. The comments that are coming in, what are some important suggestions that were received from the community? Someone's asked. There's been more than a few, right? I think one of the ones from the community is the fact that the community wants VOYR to do more marketing, right? That's a catch-22, right? We love to do more marketing. Marketing costs money, and there's not unlimited funds. So we have been leveraging as much as possible in-kind marketing, right? Through our ambassador network, through free placement, through we've done some paid placement, but that's probably the biggest one. The community wants to see us do more proactive outbound marketing, and there's a lot of suggestions there. Some of the suggestions are realistic, some of them aren't. If I had limited funds, we would be, I'd have a blimp flying around the world saying, get on VOYR. So there's that piece of it. From a technology perspective, I think the biggest feedbacks have been, we got to get the rough edges that are still out there sanded off. Some UI updates and things along those lines. There's been some good feedback on UI treatments and things for kind of ADA compliance that we are working through, because we kind of missed the fact that screen readers need to work on our system as well. And then, just the general kind of consensus that for people who are not used to crypto, it's hard to get on VOYR because they have to learn how to get on crypto. So, we're still making continuous improvements and trying to educate and get people through that process. Again, I'm doing 3 different things there. One is we're expanding the currency so that it's open to wide every currency. But starting with the major tokens so that people should have a little less friction as possible. 2, we are building native iOS and Android apps. Those are a couple weeks out still. Android's going to be done first for sure. iOS will have to get submitted, and we'll go through that process and see if we can get through it. But if we get that through there, then a couple things will happen. One is it'll all be pre-programmed for the Binance Smart Chain. It'll give people a chance to wallet inside app. And 3 is it will take away the friction of having to, use a DApp browser, because it'll have one built in. So, that'll all help quite a bit, and then it'll be native in the app stores as well. So, from an expansion perspective, that'll be there. The last one we've gotten is I've actually had people ask if we can, drop the Web3 wallet login, go back to emails and passwords. That's one thing we're not going to do. It makes perfect sense to have the Web3 wallet be the identity bearer. If we were going to go back to a fiat world, maybe, sure, but that's not our plan. So that one, a couple people have hit me with thinking, it'd be easier for people to sign up with username and password. But honestly, if you think about it, it's less secure. And B, we still have to get them to get transferred, to do transfer and economics on the platform means they still have to have a Web3 wallet. So, helping them get that one piece out of the way first is still kind of critical to the critical path. Thanks for the questions.
I don't think we have anything else going on with questions,
Now
but
I'm
I'd
gonna
love
check
to.
the names here again and stuff, and I'll check over on Telegram as well here. Yeah, so people are saying, VOYR will have its tipping point here soon. We'd like to think so as well. It really is. It's all down to action, right? It literally will be make or break based on how many people we get signed up on the platform and using the transactional platform.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, Memories as well. Memories is in I don't want to say better state, but Memories has got a lower operational footprint cost than VOYR does.
Mm-hmm.
Just being very transparent, it costs us. We've reduced the cost substantially, but carrying cost for VOYR at full bore was about 8,000 a month. I've got it down to about 5,400 a month. That's about where it's going to be, right? So I have to bring in $5,400 a month just to keep the lights on before I pay anybody's salary, before I pay any kind of marketing fees, things along those lines. So from a cost perspective, VOYR has a floor carrying cost that we have to achieve. Again, now I've put budget float in to cover that for the next 3 months. But at the end of 3 months, I have to be we have to be in a position to be able to cover that. Right now, we're looking at a couple different options. If we're tracking behind that mark, by the time we get there, one of the things obviously is we're looking at, do we do profit sharing fractional ownership of the platform, right, and start the process of DAOing it out and divesting it from being corporately owned by Voyager and making it community owned. As part of that, one of the things we can do is sell NFTs for profit sharing and tapping, and then put the profit, tax into a staking farm, and allow people to fractionally share that. It's one thing we're looking at. So that's the community feedback. It was a community suggestion from looking at it, at a 10,000-foot level. It may actually be a valid model. Second thing, obviously, is we pair back how VOYR works, right? Yeah, right. Today, it's a globally load balanced, web distributed, microservices powered system, right? It's not WordPress. And that's it's got a different economy scale, but to have globally load balanced front end, globally available storage, there's a cost to that, right? So I can turn that back down and bring it back into smaller availability zones and drop the operational cost, but we'll be back to performance impact for that. So it's kind of a catch-22. The biggest thing that everybody can help us do is watching is activate the community, right? We need people to get on the platform. And we're obviously going to spend the cycles that we have and the funds that are coming in that we are generating to go with, again, that creator base that's going to allow us to generate more revenue per minute, per click, per hour, whatever you want to think about it. But that's our target, and we're doubling down on that. And we obviously have sister businesses that we own that are co-aligning with that. So it's not like we're doing this in a vacuum. We're going to put our own business on the VOYR and drive this ourselves as well. That's always kind of been the plan while we acquired these other companies. We knew there was co-alignment there. Not that we were forcing people to do it, but we're going to leverage it.
Right. Okay. I thought I saw another question. Well said, Dave. I think we've been pretty clear. It's kind of mapped out what direction we're going in. I think this week the Crypto Expo is going to be huge. The exposure there is going to be fantastic. We'll have Tiago there, like you said, with the $1 million art project. We've got some great things going on at the booth. So if you feel free to retweet the invites, retweet the code that we have for 20% off for any of your folks that are in Miami, people that might be interested. It's going to be a really great time. The speakers are amazing, and we're going to be able to show VOYR to a huge amount of folks that have not been exposed to it yet. So we're really excited.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to give it one more call. Anybody got any other questions I want to ask? Chime in now. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up here in the next minute or so. And, obviously the replay will be available. We'll make that available. It'll be available immediately on Twitch. Be available a few minutes later on YouTube, and we'll push those links out. But again, we'll try to do these every Sunday, right? Sunday will obviously be just wrapping up after the Miami crypto experience. So we'll have updates from the show, and hopefully people will tune in from there. We'll be doing some live streams from the booth. And again, if you're there or you want to jump into it, VOYR20, use VOYR20 as a discount code to register. And fair disclosure, we are getting a percentage of that registration fee back. Is an affiliate link if you use our code. So if you want to help us out, help yourself, help us, and come join us. All right. Well, Mara, thank you for joining me. I don't see any other questions here, so we'll go ahead and wrap this up here. And we have somebody said looking forward to the expo. That's great. I would love to see you there, whether you come physically or virtually. Again, they had the metaverse this time, so yeah, if you've got a web browser, you want to jump in the 3D world, you can. If you've got a VR headset, and then come in virtual person and enjoy the metaverse. So, all right. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in. And
bye, guys. Thanks.
VOYR.